Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on the One More Block server. I hope you're all doing very well today. I'm doing just fine, thank you very much. First of all, let me apologise for the previous episode and the very abrupt ending. Unfortunately, the server just wouldn't play ball with me and I wasn't able to connect for, well, the entire day that I had to record that. And also time ran away with me, so I wasn't able to create the full episode that I wanted, so very sorry for that. However, we are back and we have got some work to do today. Yes, we do indeed. First of all, I've moved my beacon once again. I know. However, we do need it over this side today because I want to move on to getting our next building set up here. We've got Soundstage 1 right here. And I want to work on a brand new building that's going to sit right along next to it here. Now, I am struggling for storage in general. I haven't got much storage space. All I have is what I've got back at the little wooden house that we're living in right now. And that needs to change. I need to get something big and substantial. And that's what I'm going to begin to work on today and continue to do in a live stream. Shameless self-promotion time. If you want to catch what we do on our live streams, head on over to twitch.tv/TackProductions and you'll be able to see all of the behind-the-scenes stuff and extra work we do here on the server between these episodes. So what I want to do is get a storage system in place. And it's going to take a little bit of time. Next time you see this area, it's going to hopefully look quite a bit different. Let me explain to you my plan for storage. So, I want to use this big space here next to Soundstage 1 to dig essentially a colossal hole. A hole that's going to stretch quite a ways down and quite a ways across as well. I'm going to put a warehouse style building over the top, similar to Soundstage 1 here, but it's going to go down. We're going to dig down into the earth. And what I'm imagining in my head, what I'm picturing is gantries and walkways and girders and things to walk across over the top, a chest to dump all of our items in, and then automated item sorting as it drifts down into the chests below. We can then get elevators to take us up and down so that we can get access to our stuff. I think it's going to look really good. However, it's going to take a lot of work, so I will see you once I have done that heap of work. So I'm just taking a little break from destroying heaps of land and digging a colossal hole because my tools need repairing. And where we've been moving the villagers around, it's not so easy for me to get XP anymore. So I thought that it would be a good time to fortune a load of ores that I've been gathering. And as you can see, I've got plenty of coal. We've got plenty of coal. And then plenty of other stuff as well to keep us going. So I think we should probably begin working on getting rid of some of that, breaking it down a little bit. Getting some XP, and also the coal will be useful for the walls. Not walls. What are the horizontal ones? The road. That's it. It would be useful for getting some of the roads built down towards the front. I use coal blocks to build part of the road, and I'm beginning to run out of those. So now is an excellent time in which to do so. We've got heaps of coal here, so let's just build a really big coal block. So here we have it. We have got a huge block of coal ore here, and some diamond ore as well, just for good measure, because they are technically the same element. So it kind of counts, right? Anyway, we have got a 16 by 16 by 8 block here. And that gives us a total of 2,048 blocks in total. 1,984 of that is coal, whilst 64 is the diamonds on top. We will be using a Fortune 3 pickaxe to get rid of all of this stuff, which means that everything should be dropping between 1 and I think it's 3 items. So bearing that in mind, leave a comment. How many of each do you think we're going to get? 1,984 coal blocks and 64 diamond blocks. I have already mined out one of the coal bits by accident. It gave me 1. So there you go, that's a freebie. Well, that took a long time. I didn't think it was ever going to end. But fortunately, it did. And so, let's see what we have at our disposal in the chest behind me. Here it is, 16 diamond blocks and 3 left over, and 11 stacks of coal, plus 23, and then 7. Let's turn that into some real money that we can work with. So I have 16 times by 9 gives us 144 plus 7. Oh, sorry, plus 3. So that gives us 147 diamonds. Did you get that one correct? Good on you if you did. If you didn't, never mind. How about for the coal? So this is going to take some doing right here. So we have, again, 9 times 64 is 576. That gives us the coal for 1 block. 576 times by 11 gives us 6,336. I now need to do 23 times 9. That's 207. So if we add the 207 to the 6,336, we get 6,543 plus the remaining 7 is 6,550 bits of coal. Good grief! That's a whole heap of coal. That should keep us going for quite a while. Now that all that nonsense is done, all that shilly-shallying around with the ores, we return to our colossal hole in the ground. As you can see, I have indeed been busy. It does stretch down quite a significant way. And not only that, I have also been a little bit busy behind me. As you can see, I have begun to continue working on expanding the roadway and creating a little bit more greenery. We've got some more planters in place, some more trees, some more plants, some bushes, and all that kind of stuff. Let's have a little look around and see what we've got going on. So first things first, down in the hole right here, it does stretch down quite a way, as you can see. And don't forget, we are going to be going up a little bit as well, so we are going to have plenty of space for storage. I've begun to work out the dimensions, so each floor here will be 4 chests high with a little bit of ceiling room, and then we have the floor of the room above. And we're going to carry that up for maybe 1 or 2 more goes as we go higher, probably only just the 1, I reckon. And then we're going to have walkways and girders, as I mentioned. Oops! And gantryways and things like that all across the top, and crisscrossing around and things like that. I also need to try and work out a way of having water flows going around so that we can get this automatically sorted. I need to get some walls put up and some flooring as well so that it actually looks the part. I have a couple of ideas for what I want to do for that, but I am not quite in a position to take care of that just yet. We need to go and get our hands on some more iron, so we may need to do another visit over to J Stark's shop over in the shopping district to acquire a little bit more. Because currently, although I have got quite a lot, I haven't got enough. Nor do I have an iron farm, so maybe we should also think about getting an iron farm set up so that I can actually get this project here, the storage room, off the ground, or rather under the ground, and completed. I'm holding off on finishing this for the time being, just because, as you can kind of see, there are a couple of caves that I need to go into and finish exploring. So once I've finished doing all of those, then we can begin to get this place looking brilliant. And as night begins to fall, this feels like the perfect opportunity to just get a little bit of a distance look at what we've got going on. Let's try and get everything in from afar. The slow motion camera really isn't helping all that much. Let's go back to normal. So here we are. As you can see, the road now extends out a little bit further. Maybe do a landing just here. Here we are. Oof! Perfect. So yeah, the road extends out a little bit more now. We've got the golf carts in the parking spaces just here. And I think everything's moving in a really nice direction with this base. I do really, really like it indeed. I've built a road leading into the roller door that leads into the Rocky Horror set here at Sound Stage 1. That's going to be a hell of a mouthful. We got the road leading in so that places can drop bits and pieces of equipment and things like that, should that ever need to be the case. And then obviously we can carry on travelling around by road. It leads around all of these planters and bits and pieces. All in all, everything's going really, really well. I am really, really liking this. We do still have some stuff to do though. We are nowhere near done. I've finished up the bit around the back here. I don't actually think I've shown this off on stream yet. So now, outside the office, we've got another pond. You know me, I like ponds. We've got some custom trees dotted around, and just a little bit of garden space as well. These custom trees, I have a very interesting tactic for doing these. You may be able to tell already about how we do this. I've got a couple more of them just over here, and I'm going to clue you in on my strategy for how I get these custom trees in place. These ones are a bit less so, but you can see this is one of the regular generated in Minecraft ones. Here's one of the custom ones that I've built. And the way I do that is I use the mushrooms from the nether. If you grow some of the warped fungus, it turns into these really odd shaped trees. And then I just get rid of all of the warped stuff, all of the weird logs and leaves and that, and then replace it with the overworld leaves, and you get some really decent looking custom trees. It's kind of like my little life hack, because I can't build custom trees to save my life, so I may as well try and find a simpler way of doing things, and using the nether mushrooms is probably the simplest cheaty way that I can think of. So what I want to do now is get some pathways put in place. We've got the roads that spread around all over the base at the moment. We've got a few roads. However, I want to get in some actual pathways for pedestrians. And, well, I mean, for pedestrians. For people who are going to be walking around. Because you can't very well go walking about on the road. That would be silly. You can't go around doing stuff like that. So, I mean, in some places you will have to. For instance, here you can't walk through a fountain. So, I mean, it's a movie studio, right? There's not gridlocked traffic 100% of the time. So, we don't need to worry too much all of the time. However, I would like to get some pathways. And I've realised that I would like to use the smooth stone for part of those pathways. So I'm just going around and reclaiming them from areas where the path is going to be. So for instance, down here, we're definitely going to have some paths. And then I think we could cut it off right here and have a small little garden. A little bit of greenery just there will do nicely. We'll have a path that leads down this side as well. And for that, I want to use the smooth stone, the regular andesite, this stuff here, and the polished andesite. I think we're going to use the regular one rather sparingly though, because we have used it for the side of the road just here. So we'll use that one rather sparingly. We'll make it the polished variety and the smooth stone primarily, because they've got the really nice square tops, so it will actually look a little bit like paving slabs. So if we use these for the most part, just stretching down the sides, right here, we'll be a bit random with how we do it, and then we can fill in the gaps with some of the polished ones right here. We will have some of the regular andesite every now and then. I fall apart, and I need you more than ever. But for the most part, we'll stick with the textures here that have the square tops, because, as I've said, we do want paving slabs almost. And this is probably the easiest way to create a paving slab look in this game. You use the square textures. It's literally as simple as that. Yeah, this building malarkey ain't so hard. He says, I'm nowhere near a fantastic builder, but I like that already. I think that's incredible. Isn't that great? We've got a very clear line right here, so we know where the curb of the road is. And then we've got these paving slabs for a pathway, which actually transitions quite nicely into the path that we have for the site office. I think that's wonderful. I think that's really, really good. We're going to put that everywhere. That's going to be our path plan for the rest of the base. Polished andesite and smooth stone. Oh, this is so good as well. I haven't even got haste and we're just melting through the dirt. So satisfying. I did overdo it a little bit though. We'll bring the path over to here for the time being until I work out what to do with this space leading around here. Now, we're not going to time-lapse this because this has been a very time-lapse heavy episode already. I don't want to make the whole thing time-lapse. That way I may as well have just, well, not even bothered turning my mic on today. Or indeed, over the last few weeks. Few weeks? This week. I think I'm losing my marbles a little bit. I can't speak correctly. Everything's going wrong. But it's okay. We're managing. Oh, this path design is brilliant. I really, really like it. I know I keep saying that, but I really like it. You know what we need now? What we need now are street lamps going along the curb of the road. And we will be kind of overdoing it on the light sources a little bit. I have light sources hidden in the road. We've got end rods just here. The majority of the trees have light sources hidden in them as well. So we will be overdoing it ever so slightly on the light sources. However, it's all about the detail. And I think some street lamps would look really good. So I've been doing a little bit of beavering away, done some more work. I've continued with the pathway. We've got ourselves another little garden area, similar to what we've got over on this side. We've done exactly the same just right here. And as you can see, we have got a wandering trader. I've already taken everything that this man has. aside from red mushrooms. I'm not interested in those, but thank you for everything else. The path has continued around to the side here. I'm now in a position where I'm thinking to myself what to do with this space right here, because it's a little bit empty and a little bit nothing right now. Over here we've got the door that leads into Soundstage 1, and now I think we just need to pop something right here. And so to that end, I have come up with an idea that I want to see if we can do. I've got a few ideas that I want to workshop with you guys, and I'm going to need a little bit more string. So what I'm thinking of putting in this space right here is essentially boxes, storage, kinds of bits and pieces like that. Now, obviously, super simple, we can just go for something like that. It's very standard, it's very generic, but you know what? That could actually work out just fine. And I think with the help of these signs right here, we can actually kind of disguise it just a little bit, so it looks a little bit better than just, here's some wooden crates. Here's just a cube of planks, basically. Add a little bit of depth with the signs right there, and I think we've got something that's mildly passable for what I've got just here. We're going to add some extra bits and pieces in as well. We're not just going to stick with these. That really would be bland and boring. Let's add some additional bits and pieces in as well. Campfires are always a solid choice, so we can pop a couple of those down right here. And we're going to just come and sort of box them in a little bit with some additional shapes using the slabs and stairs, because it can look like there's a little bit more going on here. By adding those in, we've got some additional shapes, some funky boxes right there. And for those who don't know, you can right-click these with a shovel. Yes, that's what this is called, just to get the sort of palette look to it. And I think actually I might just take this. I think 2 is probably acceptable for that bit right there. Last thing I want to try is basically just a complete Hail Mary. If we pop a load of these trapdoors down, like this, not quite like that, you can come back here, but just like this, and then maybe a block on top and another trapdoor just like that to sit on top. I mean, I guess that looks a little bit like a box. That looks okay. I've decided to get rid of this because I don't think it quite fits the bill. However, with the string that I went to get, we can make some looms. If we make a heap of these, this could actually be something a little bit better for us. So if we pop them to the sides like that. Oh, they have got the empty bit on all of those sides, though. That's good. That's absolutely fine then. So if we go like this, maybe, because then we get that bit all around the outside, around the outside, around the outside. You knew that was where we were going. And then pop these all around here as well, like that. Then we put the signs on the sides. That, I think, is a better way round of doing that. That gives us a little bit more variation. And I think that is a good thing. And then I'm just going to put slabs on the top here just to cover up that odd-looking top of the texture for the loom. And I think that's just about acceptable. I think that's absolutely fine. I want to just see if I can find one more thing for this space, though. And I have got some more trapdoors and things here that I could use. So for this one, what I've decided to do is put a slab down, and then we can put the trapdoors just around the sides here, flip them up like that, and then it looks like there should have been something in there, but it's been taken inside. I think that is perfect. That is really, really good. And then just to complete the look, we're going to get rid of all of the dirt and grass that we have right here, and then just continue the path material that we have already begun to set up for the rest of the base. We're just going to carry on building this pathway underneath here, just so that it kind of all blends together nice and seamlessly. Yes, that does it perfectly. I love it. I think that is fantastic. Very nice. So the last little bit before we wrap up today's episode, I have a prototype for a street light right here, and I'm in two minds. I don't know if I like it or not. I don't know what it is about it. It's just not quite singing for me just yet. I think maybe it's because it's off center, or maybe it's not tall enough. Maybe it's too tall. It just doesn't fit in with the bridge there. I think it's something to do with the proportion. I think a street light needs to be taller, and for it to be taller, the road would need to be wider. And I think what I would probably need to do is perhaps put the streetlight itself in the middle here, coming out of the planter, and then have a light going out towards the left and a light going out towards the right. So I'm not 100% sure on this. You'll have to let me know whether or not this is something you like, or maybe there's a better design out there. I'm all down for modifying this and maybe trying something else, but for the moment, it's just not doing anything for me. So we may have to tear it down. I mean, like I said, lighting isn't too much of a problem. At the moment, we have got light sources everywhere. Oh, I added some scaffolding here as well. I think that fits in quite nicely. Yeah, lighting's not too much of a problem for us right now. We are relatively well lit around here, but in terms of aesthetics, I just don't think that this pops off, if you know what I mean. So I may have to just tear this down, and we'll have to just forget about it for the time being, unless I can think of something else. As the sun begins to set on our beautiful base, I am beginning to really love what we're doing here. I think it's turning out really, really good. It's unlike anything I've ever done before. I absolutely love it. Soundstage 1 looking great. Site office brilliant. The roadways now are beginning to come into their own as well. I may need to just modify the roads we've got up here. I think I may need to mix in a bit more concrete rather than all of this variation. I think it's probably a bit too much. So I may just need to have a quick tinker with that. But yeah, I think it's all coming together. It's looking wonderful. I'm very, very much down for how this is looking. So our next One More Block episode is episode 10. And I think we should do something a little bit different for episode 10. Something we've not done yet on this world. I think we should maybe do a little fly around the server. We'll go and drop in on a couple of the other blockheads' bases and see what they're up to. See what kinds of work they've been on. I guess the other problem with that street light is that it turns off at night. Which isn't what a street lamp is for at all. But yeah, I think a little visit over to the other blockheads' bases would be a good idea. I think also maybe every 10 episodes we should update the map in the site office with how our base is looking. So we'll do that in the next episode as well. But that is going to do it for this episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please do feel free to leave a thumbs up and maybe a comment down below letting me know what you thought. Let me know what you think of the street lamp and indeed everything else we have been working on. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts and feelings on what we've got going on so far. If you haven't done so already, maybe you would consider hitting the subscribe button as well so that you get notified whenever we have a new video going live here on the channel. You could also go and give me a follow over on Twitch at twitch.tv/TackProductions. That's where we do a whole heap of live streams, not just here on the One More Block server, but also playing all sorts of other video games. It'd be awesome to have you guys come along and check it out, interact with us in real time, and join in with the fun. Other than that, though, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Take care. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
I don't know what y'all think, but I think that's pretty.